Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Entrepreneurish. It's your girl, Ellie. I'm trying to figure out if we're live or not. So, if I'm looking around, that's what's going on. So, hey, guys. Hey, besties. Welcome to a brand new episode of Entrepreneurish. Hold on. Let's close that ad. No, it's something else playing on his website. And then I'm looking here. Maybe if we go to home. No.
On the YouTube or on his website?
I'm looking at both. I don't see it.
You got you.
It's all running. Okay. I think. Okay. Yes, we are moving. Is it working? Can I hear? Yeah, you can hear me.
Yay!
All right. Hey, everybody. We are ready to start the episode. We have to get it together. All right. Is the logo off? We're good. What's up? We're Bosties. Welcome to a brand new episode of Entrepreneurish. It's your girl, Elia, Atlanta's favorite podcaster. And we're here each and every Thursday at Live Hip Hop Daily with the crew, Creative Visions. Woo! And today, we're going to talk about how to not accept a loss. Like, a lot of times, people be trying to humble you. People be trying to stop your journey. People be trying to make you think that you're failing. You're not failing. You're learning. You're not broke. You're strategizing. And you're not tired. You're training. That's what I wanted you guys to really hear today. Because this is not only for me, this is for everybody. Right now it's a full moon. So I know all of us, our emotions and everything is going crazy. We're feeling the weight of the world on us. And we have to remember, this is the time to release. A full moon is your time to be your biggest, best self and then release as soon as it's done. Okay? So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to tell you guys how to never take a loss. I had a whole other show planned, Bosties. Whole other show. Planned. Like literally down to what emojis I was going to put. Like for real. Like I was so proud of myself. And then this morning, hi, I can't make it. Cool. I actually told the full story. I'm gonna put that, I don't know, we'll put that somewhere on my Instagram. I do want y'all to hear my little rant because I had a full moment in the studio before we got the show started, but that's for the behind the scenes. So if you are not following at entrepreneur.ish.podcast, you should be, because that's where I'm gonna post all of this cool behind the scenes information. You guys can hear the story about how my day went. Finding that out that somebody was not going to come today. And what I really had to do was sit down. First things first, I had to give gratitude that I had a show, because before I got mad, I had to really figure out what I was mad at. And I was mad at what? Somebody wasn't going to come to my live tape show that I don't record myself, that I'm all dressed up really cute for. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I upset about? I get to have time with my bossies. Like, so I really had to reframe, and we talked about that last episode, and I really do mean changing your life is really nothing but reframing your brain to gratitude. Because as soon as I was like, I'm so thankful for my show, boom, it popped in my head, how to never accept a loss. It starts with gratitude. Everything starts with gratitude. But the second thing is, you just need to think of everything as a lesson. Whenever we are down, we're not really down. We're actually in a place of rebuild. It's kind of weird. Your phone needs to charge, right? It works 100% all the time until it dies, right? The times when you're not on the upswing, that's your recharge time. You're on the charger. Nothing's wrong with you. You're not broken. There's not even any there's not anything wrong systematically. You have everything that you need. You just don't have the energy. So this is your time to get the energy. This is your time to form better habits. This is your time to become the person that you want to be. We all think about our higher self, but how many times do we actually take the time to be that person, change our habits to become that person? I don't know. It only happens to me when I'm not on the upswing. When I'm on the upswing, I'm not trying to do a new habit. I'm cool with myself. I feel great. Like, I feel like everything I do is wonderful. There's no room for me to change. What I have is in stone, as scientific as facts, right? That means there's no room to change. That means there's no room to grow. And so when we get to those points where we're like, oh, we have it all set in stone, that's when things start piling. And that's on purpose. That's because now it's time for you, since this stuff was light work, it's time to move to a heavier set. Y'all, I remember when I first started working out, I had a trainer. Shout out to Z. And congratulations on your baby. I'm so excited for you. I'm going to clip that and send it to her because I miss Z so much. But she was my trainer, and what I loved about her, I had a woman trainer. She's this itty bitty thing. But when I say this girl can lift, she can lift. Like, when I say a 45-pound dumbbell is not shit to her, it's not shit to her. Now, imagine being twice her size and being able to carry half of what she can carry. That was crazy to me, and I love that example because she always told me, you're stronger than you think you are. So she would give me 5 extra reps when she would see that things were easy for me. She never pushed me past when she saw that my legs were shaking, I was about to fall over, I was giving it my all. She didn't push me at that time. There's no need to. I'm pushing myself, right? But the moment she gave me that exact same exercise and I'm busting through it, I can squat all of this, it's not even a big deal. Hell yeah, 5 more. We're gonna make this challenging for you. So that's what's happening. It's just a reboot. It's really just like, look, we're practicing. Now you can hold more, so let's go for it. Let's do it. What I love to see, and why I always have trainers, why I always use things like Peloton. We're gonna talk about other apps that I use a little later in the show. But the reason why I use these apps that are motivational is because they help me push past my brain. When we do things by ourselves, we tend to take things slower than we actually need to. When I run by myself, I go till I feel like stopping, right? That's really it. Till I feel like stopping. If I run with somebody else, oh no, I cannot be left behind. Like, so now it's a competition. So if this person's used to running, I'm going to be dead by the end of this, but I'm going to keep up. I'm going to at least keep a pace that I know where I push the shit out of myself, right? And it's the same thing with the other person. If you're the one in the front, they're going to be running with you. So this is why we have these moments where shit feels a little hard. And it's hard on purpose. It's hard because it's time for you to step into your new era. It's time to, shake off the old skin, put on a new one, because you've grown. You've got that hard thing that used to be hard down. It's easy now. And so this is the time to celebrate. Even though it feels like, what am I celebrating for? I don't really feel like I'm here. Y'all, let's talk about this for real. Who is running for president right now despite all the odds? Trump is running for president and he's winning. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. So this man was literally impeached, started a coup on his own fucking country, and then took evidence from the White House, just kept it at his place. It's just chilling, like regular national security documents are just at this man's crib. And he's going to court for that. And he's still running for president. Now, if you would have let an obstacle stop you, I don't know why you're not taking a no from Trump's book. He don't give a fuck. He said, I'm going to be president. He don't give a damn about anything that y'all think would be normal for a president to do. What is the right path for him to go? He has a mission that he is on, and he has support for his mission. That's all we need to be on. We have to start having the audacity, people. For real. That's all I want all of us to take from this. And that was my little political moment because I had to tell y'all that. The moment I was like, oh no, well, I'm not really sure what else I could do, or, I had something planned. Oh man, just fuck it. Like, I've never been a fuck it girl. I've always been like, well, fuck that idea. Let's do another one, right? And it's because I feel like Trump. I'm finna be president. Like, I'm going to be a podcaster, whether you give a fuck or not, whether you vote for me or not. I still have voters. I still got people coming for me. Like, I still have people that support me. So I don't give a damn if you don't. That's really it. So we need to take a page out of this man's book because he really did win the New Hampshire primaries, which is huge. It's the first primary in the country. And if you guys don't understand what a primary is, that is when the Republican and Democratic parties vote for who they want to represent themselves. Normally it's the incumbent, which right now for the Democratic Party is Biden. However, he was a write-in, which is a little kind of, we're going to take that with a grain of salt on how the Democratic Party feels about him. If people had to write his name in, he was not on the ballot. So let's talk about that. And then we have Trump, who everybody really thought Nikki Haley would beat. And even though she has 43%, she has 43%. That's not the majority. So we are really looking at another Biden-Trump thing. Can in the next 4 years, can you get somebody under the age of 60, please? Like, this it's my only request. Just 60. We just pop it down a decade, and I'll feel slightly better about where our country is going. But the reason why I always bring up politics in these things is because as an entrepreneur, politics affect us, and we affect politics. Y'all, there's $4.1 billion in lobbying, and that was in 2020. The pandemic changed everything. So we're about to see a crazy amount of money for businesses going into lobby. And so Republicans are a lot more free market, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and Democrats are a lot more, let's have more grants for certain people, different things like that. If you guys don't know, there's a lot of different grants that are under scrutiny right now for only giving money to minorities. There's a lot of different things that are going on, and these people who are in charge are going to be voting for the people who are going to determine whether or not we can do certain things. So I want us to be slightly aware of this, especially as this comes on. I want this to be a topic that all entrepreneurs are talking about, because best believe the white people talking about this, the CEOs are talking about this. This is daily topics. This is something that everybody's looking on their phone for. So if we are pretending like, oh, it doesn't bother, it doesn't have anything to do with us, we're giving away our power in that situation. So I really want you guys to think about that. I have some dates for us to remember as Georgians. March 12th is our primary election. So if you want to have any say in who is going to be the leader of the Republican or Democratic Party, this is your time to make your voice heard. And the official elections will be on November 5th. So let's start getting registered to vote. You are a CEO. You are a part of the system. Please don't pretend like you're not. I don't like the system. If you have a business, you're in the fucking system, buddy. I need you to know that. So let's be a part of this together. Let's pay attention together, because I don't know about y'all, but I hate making uninformed decisions. I hate somebody asking me who am I going to vote for, and I haven't even picked up not a single article on who's even running. So I want to give this to you. So while we're talking bossy business, while we're talking about how not to fail, we're going to take a book out of the Trump pages, and we're going to do whatever the fuck we want to regardless. And if we have a goal, we're going to go after it with all of our heart and with all of our money and with all of our fans pointed in the same direction. That is how you win. And that's what I wanted to talk about. When we're talking about resilience, they gonna write books about this man for years when it comes to resilience. So let's just channel that. I know we hate him. I know he's orange. We understand that. We know. However, what we cannot deny is this man's tenacity. All right, that's all I gotta say. That is a tenacious man. Okay, so we're gonna get back to strategies on how you can have perseverance like Trump does. And I want to do 3 key points, and I'm gonna break them down a little bit. So the first thing is we have to start framing our failure as learning. That's always number 1. We're gonna talk about how you can actually start doing that. The second thing is strategizing in tough times. It's very hard to think when you can't eat, when you don't have money for gas, when you can barely make the events that you are signing up for to make the money that you need to pay your rent. I got it. I get it. I promise you, we've all been trapped in these money conundrums before. And during these times, we have to be strategic. This is the only way we're going to make it happen. So we're going to talk about that too. And then we're going to talk about training through fatigue. Because during this time of training, it's a lot of practice. I think if we all remember, I have the movie in my head, Denzel Washington with the football players. What's it called? What's that brilliant movie called? Not Training Day. Oh my God. Oh my God, y'all know this Denzel movie where he's like, you don't get no blood on my uniform because of, oh my God, I can't remember. Anyway, that movie is probably another moment in time where I think of training through fatigue. These boys were up at 6 a.m. to do 2-a-days, 3-a-days in the sun with no water on purpose. However, what? Remember the Titans. Thank you. Remember the Titans. Anyway, everybody does remember the Titans. Why? Them bitches were winners. Them men were winners. They were winners. And why? Because they went through that crazy ass camp. Sometimes we be complaining, but for you to be an outstanding, for you to stick out of the millions of content creators, for you to stick out of the millions of podcasters, for you to stick out of the millions of basketball players, engineers, movie producers, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to train differently. You have to train harder. You have to be different. You have to, what was it? You have to be a beast in the same animal, like whatever it is that Kobe said in that commercial. That's what you gotta do, or Kanye said in that commercial, like. That's who you have to be. And that's the only people who we admire are those people who push themselves to the end. Why do y'all think we like watching the Olympics? We can all watch somebody throw something or do a flip in our backyard, but we watch the Olympics to watch the best gymnast, the best tennis player, the best basketball players, skiers, whoever, whatever, swimmers, all of that. Because they train like crazy. We're not watching the people at your local pool. We don't care about them. And we have to be honest about that. So if you're saying you want to be top tier, you want to be elite, you want to be all of that, and you don't like training, get out of here. Get out of here right now. Because then we're not even on the same page. You don't even have the dedication. Me and Liv were talking about this for real. We were both just saying, we were like, when it comes to my dream, I'm finna get there. Holes in my boat, broken paddles, tired, dusty, cracked lips, like sunburn, and then complete delirium. Like, I will be there. I promise you, I'm taking my boat where it needs to fucking go. And I don't care if it's just me on there. I don't care if I have friends. I don't care if I have freaking SpongeBob helping me carry this bitch. Like, I am going to get there. And those are the people who train, who can get through this fatigue. It's because there's something pushing them, okay? So we're going to talk about that a little bit more because there's so much that goes into it. But the first thing, before you can even get to training, we have to start with framing failure as learning, okay? This is hard because I don't know about y'all. I was trained to be an overachiever. I was trained to hit the mark the first time, don't fail, right? This is just how I grew up. My household, you got A's. If you got A's, no one bothers you. Anything less than that, somebody's gonna be on your ass until it's a fucking A. So I don't like people on my ass, so I like to get my A's so that y'all would leave me alone. Ask my mama. She was like, Ellie does whatever she wants because her grades are good. And I did. And that's what fuels me. I love achieving. I love getting some type of score. I love getting I love hitting goals. I don't know about y'all, but like it just makes me feel good. It makes me want to go after another one. It makes me like, why do I run? This is torture, but it's not for me. It's fun for me to get out there and hit another goal. It's fun for me to run a mile faster. It's fun for me to see how long it takes me to sweat. It's fun for me to see how far can I push myself. I did 4 miles at this pace yesterday. Can I do 5? I like doing that because I just enjoy achieving things. I don't know. It's a lovely feeling. It's like a warm, fuzzy feeling of achievement. So this is why I do what I do. But it's hard because when I used to be good at, well, I'm still good at pretty much everything that I do, if I'm really honest. I'm pretty good at everything that I do, that I touch. And however, when I fail, it's a big deal because it doesn't happen very often. When you're gifted in the area that you put a lot of your time in, right? And for me, that's talking, making relationships, and analyzing people to the core. I'm a Cancer. I didn't do that naturally. So lovely being that type of person. This is just who I am. I'm just this type of person inside and out. So staying in this space means that everything comes easy, right? When I decided to do this podcast, I'm going to do the podcast for the talking part. Not the marketing, not the cameras, not everything else. There was so much more to podcasting than what I knew. I thought I just got on here and then people knew about my show. That's not how it works. So now I'm in a space where this is not my thing. My thing is talking. How do I get good at this thing that I'm not good at, right? And then I was watching myself fail, and I was watching my confidence kind of go down with each failure. And it wasn't until I decided to learn from my failures that they didn't feel like failures anymore. All right, so what do I mean by that? I used to go to the bakery, and the bakery is this social place for it's not just for women, but it's basically for women. It's a co-working space founded by a Black woman, and so I started there. That's where I got a lot of my connections. I think if you are new to an Atlanta and you're looking for a group of entrepreneurs to hang around, that's a good place to start. And I was telling everybody I had a podcast, and I would show my Instagram to people, and people would be like, okay. And I was like, what? I'm so excited about my show. What do you mean? And they're like, it doesn't look like a podcast. And I'm telling you guys, we even had Marissa on here, and was like my 3rd episode to talk to y'all about her making that comment, and how I went to cry in her face, and I also went to hit her in the face at the same time. Like, how dare you talk about my social media like that? Like, who the fuck are you to tell me my podcast page doesn't look like a podcast page, right? And I was like, I was so hurt. But honestly, that night, and I don't know why, that night I decided, I heard her, right? Shit hurt, right? It hurt. So of course I went home and I just brooded over it. I was like, oh no. My page. I really am that dramatic. But yeah, like I had this whole like, what am I doing this for? My page doesn't even look like a podcast. And then I finally was like, let me look at this page, right? I was like, let me show her that it looks just like a podcast. What the fuck is she talking about? And then I looked at podcast pages and I looked at mine. And I was like, fuck. My page doesn't look like a podcast. So, this is what I mean by turning your failures into lessons. She literally dogged me out. Like, she really told, but she wasn't dogging me out. See, this is the thing. And this is what I want us to try to really think about. Sometimes people are giving us advice, and the advice just hurts because it's so spot on. That's it. That's really it. So if it's her telling me that I don't have a podcast page, hurt me to the core. Why? Because that was the biggest truth that was in my face that I wouldn't tell myself. I kept saying, you're doing great. You're doing fine. Who cares? You're doing the best you can, right? And then I started realizing, how are you doing the best you can when you're not getting the point across, right? How are you working the best on your podcast page and it doesn't look like it's a podcast page? That's the lesson. Sometimes we do need to take this advice that hurts our core, that hurts our soul, and we need to look at our page. Now, I've had people tell me things, and I looked at my page and I was like, you're dead fucking wrong. I'm hilarious. I'm funny, I'm charming, I don't care. Whatever you said, I don't care. And then there's sometimes where people say things and I'm like, I can change my show a little bit. I can change how I ask that question. I can be a little bit more animated. I actually am dramatic. Let me show that on camera. Like, let me do a little bit more things. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes what people are saying that might hurt your feelings is actually your chance to take this failure and turn it into a lesson. So what was my lesson from that? Let me try every time I make some content to make sure that people know that this is a podcast, right? So now every single time that I post something, I make sure there's a mic. I make sure that there's a title of some sort. And I make sure that everything says fucking podcast. Like, it says podcast at the beginning or at the end. It says podcast. It says something podcast. So I'd be damned if you told me I don't have a podcast page now. Because where? What are you missing? It says Entrepreneurs Podcast. It says podcast here. It says listen here. Where are you not seeing podcast? There's a mic right here. I'm talking to myself like, come on. What else am I doing, right? So now I don't get that feedback anymore. A lot of times it's about how I frame my conversations, or maybe I should start the clip here and not there. See, these are again lessons, because I could be mad at these people telling me, oh, well, I should clip my show different. I could be like, fuck you, I clip my show fine, and then I'm missing the lesson. That's what I'm saying. When we frame to learn these failures as lessons, they don't become failures anymore. How can I fail if I learn something? That's really it. How can I fail if I learned something? I didn't fail. I just went to class. That's like raising your hand and getting the answer wrong in class, and now you feel like you failed out. There's no redemption in this shit. Like, one wrong answer, you out? No, that's not how things work. You gotta keep going to class for you to understand a little bit more. That's where we're at. For our entrepreneurish people, us that are still in our first, second, third year of being an entrepreneur, that's where we're at. We're in class. So it's okay to fail. It's cool. And then that's the other thing that I had to start telling myself. I had to start giving myself like calming lessons, because my failures that I would be like, no, I'm done. My life is over. What am I gonna do? No one's ever gonna watch my podcast again. And then what happens? Next week somebody watches my podcast and I go, oh, okay. I'm fine. But when I stop doing that, I still freak out. Let's be really honest. It's just, I'm dramatic. I'm just really dramatic. But at the end of the day, I realize I'm trying. So one thing people can't say is that they don't have anything to critique. Now, see, that's one thing. If I said I had a podcast and the last time you heard from me is last year, that's one thing. That's a lot to critique right there. But today I gave you something to even have an opinion about. That's huge. Because I could just be sitting here with nothing, still wanting an opinion, but have nothing for them to show for it. Okay, so you gave me this critique this time. I guarantee you next month, you'll never have to say that again. That's how we are. We have to learn. That way, 6 months from now, I look crazy different. Why? Because I learned from all these things. I learned from so many things, especially outfits. Y'all, ladies, skirts have a length when you're on TV. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. There's a few episodes I cannot rerun because there's crotch. So this is what I'm saying. We all learn. Hints to the floor, okay? Sometimes we gotta do that. And then when I do wear many things, now we have these lovely little sheets. I'll just put something right here and we'll go on. But these are things that we learn. Had I had never worn a short skirt, we would not even be having this conversation, because I wouldn't even know that there was a lesson that I had to learn. This is what I'm talking about. Same thing when it came to me asking questions. These were all things I had to learn. I had to learn this shit. I used to be a shy girl who wasn't gonna ask nobody anything, and now I cannot be shy. I have to be the most energetic, the most personality, because I'm hosting. So you can change who you are. You can be a different person. I promise y'all, if y'all listen to my first episodes, to my episodes now, even live, even my episodes live, you can see me learn. Y'all also see the failures, but you also know when I came back, it's not a failure anymore. I learned from that shit. We switched the sounds. We changed the mics. We changed the set. Like, whatever it was that was like what people were calling failures, we fixed. So this is what I'm saying. Learn from the things that you have. The next thing, strategizing through these tough times. Now, I know this is something, Ellie's going to go on a little rant for a second because this shit pissed me off. Today, I saw that this lady went viral for telling her story. And she said that she's 31 and she works at an ice cream shop. She's 31 and she works at an ice cream shop after leaving her corporate job and leaving her relationship of 8 years after realizing that was not what she wanted. And I love the video because here's this woman of color explaining that she doesn't have her life together. As a woman of color, that's like the one thing you don't fucking do. It's like the one thing you are not fucking allowed to do is to tell people that you're having a moment. To tell people that you don't have your shit together is crazy. Especially as a black woman, you don't have your shit together? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding me? What's wrong with you? That's the reactions that you get, right? So I'm watching this woman be vulnerable in a time where it's very hard to do that. She's telling all of her business about how she just up and decided that the life path that she was on no longer works for her anymore. Do you know? I went to the comments because I was expecting people to understand, right? I realized people are super judgmental. And I'm like, if you looked at their life, they really shouldn't be fucking judgmental. But they really got the loudest thing to say. Got 8 baby mamas, but me being 31 living at home is a fucking problem. So and when I saw that, I was like, man, I could see myself in this woman. And so I was glad that she said something. We don't talk about this shit. We don't talk about what we do to get where we want to go. We don't talk about what it's like to pivot your entire life. So I wanted to say here, I'm a 31-year-old who lives with their parents. And I really don't give a fuck about what your opinion is. But I left a life. I had a corporate job. I had a house. I had a nice car. I lived in a really good neighborhood. I was married. It sounded great. I was in fucking hell. I was in hell. All my smiles were forced and everything. I honestly really used to hope that my life would change dramatically, and I really could not find a way that it could. God forced me into this happy life, into being 31 and living with her parents. I have not smiled this much since I was like 14. Okay? So sometimes your life could be falling apart, right? But it's not. It's fine. You're probably in a better space. I'd rather create something from this space right here than from where I was before, when I was in a good space, when I was a real corporate girl who had everything going for her in certain spaces, right? So when things change, when your life moves and it's not perfect, when you're 31 and you're living at home, you're not a failure. You're strategizing. A lot of these times, you're sitting there and you're plotting on your next move. A lot of these times, whatever you wanted to do in your life couldn't have happened in the old life. So I say kudos to this lady. I'm glad that you left your 8-year relationship. No, you did not drag him. All these men were like, oh, you wasted his time. And I'm like, Now, if you'd have married this girl in 8 years, did she really waste his time? or what? Like, whose time was wasted? I don't know. It sounds like her time was wasted. It sounded like he was cool with bare minimum and she decided she wasn't, so now she's the villain. That's what normally happens in a lot of these situations. When the woman is fed up with bare minimum, she's the villain. She's an awful bitch for not settling. So we're not going to have that narrative here. You be 31 and live at home and enjoy it. She was like, I have not smiled this much. She was like, she works at an ice cream shop and she likes to see the kids. Like, she's happy. She lives in LA now. She lives where she wants to live. But all I saw in the comments was, oh, you fumbled your life. Fumbled? Okay. That was really just how I felt about this situation. And I wanted to talk about it because she's strategizing in tough times. Imagine having everything going for you and then all of a sudden it doesn't. Let's empathize with that. Let's empathize with the day she woke up and realized that this man is not really her man and that her job is not really the job that she wants and that the best way that she could move and change her life is to go live with her parents. Do you think that was an easy decision? At any one of none of those were easy. These are all very brave choices that this woman made in order to strategize to get herself in a place that she's actually happy. And I'd be damned if we talk about somebody who's working their way to happiness. We're not gonna do that. Bossies don't do that. We celebrate these moments. Because just because you think somebody should be happy, you need to ask them if they really are. And if the answer is no, then let them move their life around. Let them be happy. The problem is that most of y'all are sad and you hate people who are happy. You hate people who are even pivoting to the point to try to be happy because you decided you can't be as brave as her. You can't pivot your life. You can't go live with your parents for a few years. So you're upset with her for doing the same thing. Stop it. So I say that for tough times does not mean you're down. Again, that means you're training, you're preparing. Maybe she's not used to budgeting her own money. Maybe she's used to 2 incomes. So now she got to sit down and realize how she spends and how she has to move to have her own stuff, right? Sometimes you need a sit down moment. Sometimes we need to sit down and we need to train. That way when we get out on this field, we only hit W's. Because that's what I'm trying to do. So if I got to train 2-3 years to only do W's for 8, fuck it. And that's how I feel about, like, if you don't refrain to learn from these failures and you don't strategize during your tough times, because you're going to have them. That's going to keep you from being resilient. That's going to stop you. So if we want to get past never taking an L, reframe, and then we got to do the tough stuff. And we got to strategize and just stay down in the tough stuff. That's probably the hardest thing that I can ask you to do. It's the hardest thing I can ask you to do. So because I know that this is hard, this is training. This is what I mean by training. We're going to push through our circumstances. And what I mean by that is we're going to get real habitual. Real habitual. That's why I have planners. This is why I have planners, you guys. This is how you get habitual. This is how you get out of your dark times. Because you'll track yourself. I promise you, if you see every week that you put as a priority to post your podcast, and you look back and you say that you needed to post your podcast for 6 weeks, you're going to see who's the problem. You're going to see that it's not the world. That's the reason why you're not a famous podcaster. You're going to see that it's not the audience that you don't have, because you don't post. You're going to see, like, there's a lot of things that you're going to start to see, that there's things that you could change. There's habits that you could start making that will at least better your chances to getting what you want, right? So I know for me, when I first started writing in journals, when I first started tracking my time, I kept seeing that I would do that. I would put a goal, and it'll be my number one goal. And it'll take me 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks to get this thing off of my number one goal. How long? Is it really number one? Like, do you give a fuck? Like, how long does it take for you to look at an idea and know that it's good and then put action to it? I didn't know that it took me 12 weeks. So then I started doing the math, right? Because that's just who I am. I love doing charts. I love looking at periods of time and giving trends for myself. So I started saying, okay, if Ellie has a good idea, it takes her 12 weeks to execute it. How many good ideas can Ellie execute in a year? What is that? 12 weeks is 3 months. 4. That means I only get to have and execute 4 ideas a year. For a girl who has an idea every fucking minute. 4 was like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do with it? 4 was like, this is not enough ideas in the world. 4 for me was like, how dare I only produce 4 ideas in a year? And then that's why I tell you guys, we have to get strategic. This is how you get strategic in tough times. Because then I was like, oh, Ellie, it takes you 12 weeks to post an episode. Well, fuck. Okay, well then that's probably why you don't have that many views. Because you gotta tell people, I'll see you in May. Like, and then you're like, I'll see you again in August. The fuck? I don't want to watch that. So I was like, let's get consistent. Me focusing on being consistent has me here every Thursday. Live. Why? We were strategic during our tough times. This shit sucked. I had no idea I was gonna get this shit until I had it. That's what I'm saying. Literally to the day it was offered to me, I had no clue. To the day it was offered to me, I had no idea I was gonna get this. And if I had quit during those times, then really it was like, why are you bringing a camera everywhere? You suck at holding the camera. And like no one can hear you. Why do you still want to do that? If I had let that stop me, if I was not as defiant as Trump was, I'm gonna be a podcaster anyway. Right? I don't give a damn if this don't make any sense. I'm gonna do it regardless. If I was not like that, we wouldn't be sitting here. We wouldn't have bossies on the fucking floor. Like, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. When you start to look at yourself, you start to see your patterns, you start to see, I can change my life little by little. I can do things. I can make tracks. I can move the needle on my goals. I can achieve things. I just gotta train. When we start reframing our mind to that, all of this hard shit isn't hard anymore. We just go into the gym. We go into the gym till we get on the field. That's how we have to look at it. So before we start going, oh man, what the fuck? What happened? Oh, my guest didn't show up. Well, shit, that happens in real life. Y'all don't know how many times I've been watching like the Jennifer Hudson show and they were supposed to have somebody on there and then that section just goes away out of nowhere. And then she just moves on. She does something else. She brings out a little kid or does a giveaway or something. It just, the show goes on. That is it. So if Jennifer Hudson has to do that shit, if Wendy Williams and Oprah had to do that shit, well then I guess I do too. Fuck. I gotta go with the flow. I remember one episode, Wendy showed up in her street wig and she had no outfit on anything because the traffic was that bad. Did the whole show in her street wig. Fucking goat. I was like, she's the goat right here. Why? Because she said, look, I don't really, my show is not about my hair and makeup. The show's about me. The show's about me and my essence and my commentary on life. And so that's what we're going to stick with. It is what it is. I strive to be like that, and I hope you guys strive to be like that too. So now that I'm talking about planners, I have something coming up in March, guys, that I'm working on all February. I'm going to talk about this in February when it's actually in motion. And I've talked to my crew because they're a part of it, right? But before we start announcing things to get ready for that, I wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to start doing Bossy challenges. Each and every month, I'm going to challenge you guys to do things that I need to do myself. But these things will make us strategic during these tough times. These things will make us hit goals even when we don't feel like it, even when we're not motivated. You're motivated because you're gonna see me hitting goals, you're gonna see other bosses hitting goals. I'm gonna get everybody that I can to join these challenges. Why? Because I need you guys to see how consistency and habits can get you out of a lot of holes that you're in. I promise you. So what we're gonna do all February, all 29 days. This is a special year, y'all. It's 29 days in February. That means we get 5 episodes of Entrepreneurish in February. All of those are Thursdays. All of those are Thursdays. So we get 5 whole episodes. So I'm gonna be checking in with y'all 5 times. And I want you guys to write down your top 3 priorities. Just 3, not 6, 3. Top 3 priorities for your day. And we're gonna do that each and every weekday. And we're gonna do that for 5 weeks. Not that hard, right? Give me 29 days. Give me 29 days of you saying, these are my priorities today. And let's actually try to check off 3 things. 3. I'm not saying that your top priority should be make $1 million today. If that's not already on your projections, please don't put that as your top priority. You're gonna stress yourself out every fucking day and you're not gonna get past day 2. Don't do that. What I mean by this is I'm gonna practice my show today. I'm going to learn how take a marketing class. I'm gonna listen to a podcast. I'm going to something small that you know will move the needle, will get you thinking differently. I love listening to podcasts because they get me thinking differently about my show. I listen to how they talk about their ads, do things, and it gets me thinking. I watch, while I was on vacation, I watched nothing but the Jennifer Hudson show, and I took notes, y'all. Like, I literally took fucking notes. I was literally sitting there like, okay, so these are her producers. These are the channels that she works with. These are the stations that she does best at. She started shouting them out. She was talking about how she got put on for 1 season. Now, what I've noticed with her, she's been a season by season person, and I'm watching Sherry got put on for 3 seasons. So I'm seeing, okay, what do channels value more? What conversations do they care about more? What type of setup of shows? Like, I'm strategic about my shit because I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna change my show, I'm gonna change it the way daytime TV changes it, because that's the goal at the end of the day. So, I mean, be strategic. I know that my goal is to be on daytime TV. That might be 10 years from now. But today I'm studying. Today I'm practicing. Today I'm going to sit in front of the mirror and I'm going to pretend to have Michael B. Jordan sitting right here. And we're going to be asking him a lot of But that's what I do when I'm at home. When I'm thinking about, oh man, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, I just pretend that I am. I really don't have another way of telling you guys. But it sounds crazy, but it's actually made me happier. Me sitting in my room when I don't want to be in that room and me pretending that I'm on stage has actually helped me go, oh shit, this can help me get there real quick. I'll think of one other person that I met before. Let's see how they're doing today. It's so weird what your brain will do when you focus on the good things instead of the bad. So that's what I'm going to ask you guys to do. The last thing that I want to have and talk to you guys about was our non-negotiables. This is how we take that training period and we make it non-negotiable. But before we talk about that, I want to do my top 5 apps. Why? Because I'm realizing I'm going to all these networking events. I'm going to different places. I'm meeting a lot of bosses, and I'm realizing we've made certain things hard on ourselves, and there's an app for that. And I really just want us to know this, and I want us to start using some of these apps. So the first one on my list, and I think this is on every single entrepreneur's list, is Canva. I don't know a single entrepreneur that does not have Canva. I don't know one. Why? I'm pretty sure that's how they made their logo. I'm pretty sure that's how they made the cover of their book. I'm pretty sure that's how they made their journal. I'm pretty sure that's how they made their ad campaign. I'm pretty sure that's how, and if it wasn't them, that's how their team did it. At the end of the day, we could all look at something and be like, Canva logo. Ooh, Canva fonts. Like, there's a lot of things where like, ooh, Canva made it. Y'all, Canva has AI now. Canva has AI now. there's this thing called Magic. You hit the button, you type in what type of visual that you want to have, and they have AI videos and shit that you can put in your thing. So yeah, let's stop pretending like we don't have the tools we need. We just need to go learn about them, and we need to go type in Canva AI and sit down and learn that. So put that at your top priority list when we come to February 1st, which is next Thursday. I'm asking y'all, what are your top 3 priorities? And y'all are going to see it in my stories. So again, if you're not following entrepreneur.ish.podcast, you need to. I'm on Instagram all the time. I post stories every day. So definitely get on there. Because that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about things like AI and Canva. I'm going to be posting some of those. Some of the things that I've been finding on Instagram and TikTok that I think will be helpful for you guys. Number 2. When we are out and about and we decided to leave our houses, Bosties. I know, a crazy concept. It's cold outside. We don't want to go outside, but we will. We have to. We gotta go meet some people. I told y'all all last year, all the people that y'all ever saw on my show, I met outside. It's 2 people, maybe, that I met on Instagram, 2. So, get outside. Popl. Popl. This is a digital business card where all you do is you take, there's a QR code. I have it on front of my phone. I hope y'all can see that. There's a QR code, and literally just scan the QR code right there, and that's my business. Boom. It's just that easy. Now what I do, I pay the $9.99 for the full Popl. You don't have to. You'll still get this QR code, and you'll still be able to put links and everything that you got going on. See, you can do a lot of things on here. You can share on LinkedIn, you can share on X, you can share everywhere. You can add your QR code to your lock screen like I did. I do this because when I meet people, I just need them to come follow me. And a lot of times I want them to follow me and actually watch my podcast. So they gotta have my YouTube page, and some people don't watch podcasts, they listen to them, so they gotta have my Apple Music and Spotify. That's all right here. So this way, when I say I'm a podcaster, I got fucking proof. Okay? This is the worst thing for you to say is, oh, I'm a podcaster. And like, oh, where's your show? And you're like, so I can't say the full YouTube link right now. Nah, see, QR code, Popl. Y'all need this. This is free. This is free. Canva's free too, even though everybody knows that you probably should pay that little extra bit for premium, but you can't get by it without it. You can. So the other thing that I use HubSpot. So what you get with that premium Popl is it will save the contacts of the people that you meet, and it will download it into your CRM. And my CRM, which is what is it? I forget what it means. I'll come back to y'all on that. But basically, it's like a system that you use to organize yourself. And I'm able to put people into a pipeline in HubSpot. So I could say, this is somebody who I want to be on my show. This is somebody who's been on my show. This is somebody who I want to sponsor my show. This is somebody I want to, I really get to categorize the people that I meet. And with those categorizations, I'm able to send emails once a week that are targeted to those particular people. So people who have already been on my show, I'm always asking them for either sponsorships. I ask them if they have any type of events going on that they want me to shout out on the show. And then I also ask them for recommendations of anybody that they think would be a great guest on my show. So that's those people. Then I have the people that are going to come to my show. So I keep sending them little links of other episodes, things like that, so they can get excited about it. And then I have the people who I would just want you to watch my show. Can't be on it, but I would love for you to be a fan. And then we have the please be a fan of entrepreneurial stuff. So I can do all of that from my phone. So when I meet you, I don't mean to say this in a rude way, but you're going to be categorized, and it's on purpose. It's so that when I'm putting together my thoughts and the things that I'm writing down as my priorities and things that I want to have done, you guys get hit. And it's because I'm like, oh, I need to talk to the people who have already been on my show. I need to talk to people who haven't been on the show, and I need to talk to my fans. I always need to talk to the fans. Pinterest. Pinterest is huge for me. I get all my ideas from Pinterest. All of them. The set was Pinterest. Liv is nodding her head because she
Holy
understands.
Pinterest.
She understands. We literally sat there and were like, okay, let's just pin a whole bunch of shit. Same thing for any of like my photo shoots. Like when you're doing a photo shoot, you don't know how to pose, you don't know what to wear, you don't know. This Pinterest is gold, y'all. I don't know if y'all have a brand and you're not on Pinterest. I don't know what you're doing. Like, why not? So I put my clips on Pinterest. I put different like pictures of me. I'm starting to do a lot more planner things now because I'm really kind of focused on this in 2024. But Pinterest is a gold mine, y'all. This is where if you take pictures and you're not on Pinterest, what the fuck? What the fuck? If you have a brand and you're not on Pinterest, what the fuck? If you're a content creator and you're not on Pinterest, what the fuck? Like whatever you do, I guarantee you I could type it in Pinterest right now. Gaming, I'll type that in right now. They'll show you how to set up your gaming system aesthetically, and then it will also show you like how to be the best gamer. Like they have everything on Pinterest, whatever you're interested in. So I love Pinterest. If you're looking for an audience, it's not like Instagram. You're not there to be social for real. I literally am there to be like, I like your video. I like this aesthetic. And I'll probably look at this shit for 2 years. Like, you got me for 2 years. I'm going to keep looking at your show, your whatever you got going on because I love it. Like, for me right now, I'm doing sets, like talk show sets. And everything is like from Essence festivals, from like all these other conferences. I'm looking at what those look like and I'm placing myself in those seats. And so that's what I use Pinterest for. A lot of it is for mental manifestation. And my last app is very new, but it's something that I started using when I started doing, when I started doing my planner. I started using Zeely. So Zeely is an AI and it basically markets for you. So I put the description of my planner in there and then it goes finds the people who want a planner. It's been amazing. I don't know when I'm gonna start sharing my sales with people. I don't know. You guys will know first. How about that? How about that? But it's going very well. I'm very proud of myself and what I've put out into the universe. So, but Zeely has been outstanding. It's probably been like the best thing that I could use. So, I think if you guys are looking, you're having trouble with marketing, which is definitely a sore spot for me, do Zeely. Let the robot handle it for you. That's gonna be great. Okay, now we keep talking about my planner, right? I'm giving away a planner. I am. So y'all, this is my last one. I did. I'm so proud, but like I did a small little batch and I was able to sell it for a small batch and I'm already selling online and I have to order some more so I can sell in person. I'm overwhelmed with the loveliness of it, but I'm actually super excited to step into a new field and to really feel like an entrepreneur in this space. So I thank you guys for supporting me. And because I thank you guys for supporting me, I want to make sure that you guys get this book. In February, I'm going to start doing my live shows on my YouTube page. It's going to be live on, like, literally every time you go to my YouTube page, there will be a show playing. This is something I've been working on for the past 3 months. It's something I'm very excited to have. And because of that, I want you guys to hype me up. I want y'all to come in there and watch it. So it's going to start on February 1st, and I'm super excited. So we're giving away a Bossy Planner next Thursday. You guys need to watch live to see who wins. And you guys need to follow me at entrepreneur.ish.podcast so you guys can find all the information. Basically, when I start going live, I need the first person to comment and that person will receive a Bossy Planner. So get ready for that. February 1st is the day. Y'all got 7 days to prepare yourself. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell, ding, 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 and help me out. So that's my giveaway to one special Bossy, and then we're gonna stack these. I'm just gonna use this as like, y'all know how people put money to their ear. I'm gonna put planners and journals and shit. That's gonna be my flex page. So I'm excited. Okay. I wanted to say one last thing. We're talking about non-negotiables. How do you make your habits non-negotiables? Tell everybody to fuck off. That's really it. I think sometimes we have a hard time doing this. Some of us are cool with telling people to fuck off. Some of us have a hard time with that. Get very used to that, especially as an entrepreneur. You have to tell a lot of people to leave you alone. But for things to become a non-negotiable, you have to set it as a non-negotiable. This means no matter what, you do this. So what is my non-negotiable? On Thursdays, I work out. I have to work out before I do a show. Why? It gets me in the right headspace. I cannot be motivational to y'all if I haven't had that motivation myself. If I didn't sit here and pump myself up on my 30-minute run and I'm looking into nothing for 30 minutes, that's my time where I get to pray and get to find out, like, what do I need to bring out of myself? Where am I most thankful? All of that. That's it. And the reason why I'm able to do that is because I tell everybody to fuck off. Like, if I have to go run, then I have to run. My phone's on silent. I'm not picking up phone calls. You can't come find me. You can't pull up on my fucking gym. There's none of that. This is my time. And it's a non-negotiable. To the point now where I tell people I'm on my way to the gym, they go, oh, I'll wait till you get done. It's not even crazy for them to leave me alone for an hour. It's not even crazy for them to leave me alone for an hour because I've set the tone. I need an hour. When I come back, let's start the bullshit up. let's start it all over again. But during my hour, this is me time. I promise you guys, you're gonna have to set these times in your life that do not move because everybody is going to try to get on your schedule. It's your schedule. Remember that. Do not let your schedule run you. It's yours. It's your schedule. So if you have certain things that you need to get done, this is why you have a planner. So I know on days where I'm super busy, that workout has to happen at 6 a.m. Is that fun for me? It's fucking not. But it's a non-negotiable for me. This is what I do. I've been doing and I could probably say this, I've been doing a workout every single Thursday for 88 weeks. I have proof. I have proof that I do this. So 88 weeks is a year and some change, a year, almost 2 years for real. Like for real, that's a long ass time. It's a long ass time. So because of all that time, yes, no one bothers me during that time because for 88 weeks, I've told you to fuck off. This is my time. So that's why I wanted y'all to know this. Like, this is how you make things non-negotiables. I hate when people say, oh, well, you know, I'm just not allowed to. No, you're not allowing yourself to. I don't care if it's your kids, if it's your boyfriend, if it's, I don't care what it is. Tell them, I need a moment. And take your moment. And be for real about that shit. Be as serious about that shit as you are about anything else. Because that's where you change your life, is in these non-negotiable moments. Because during these times, because I say that I work out every Thursday, I didn't even feel like it today. But at 3:30, I had to go work out because I had a show today. Yes, I did. I did work out at 3:30. But it's because I had to. I had shit to do this morning. I work on European time, which is how I'm allowed to do the days that I am allowed to do. So literally all of my clients are in European time. My clients are in like Switzerland and shit. So they are mornings, 4 a.m. So a lot of times I have meetings at 6 a.m. This is normal for me. And I do this with pride now because let me tell y'all, when y'all saw me in October, yeah, that shit was kicking my ass. But we here now. We trained for it. This is what I'm talking about. Now it's cool. Now I'm up at 6. And what's funny is my boyfriend is too. So even my circle, we're up at 6. So it's not even weird for me. It's not even weird. It's kind of weird if I'm still in the bed after 6. Now that's crazy. And we have crossed into a whole nother level. I'm very proud of me because I used to be a girl that slept till 11. So for me to go from that to being a 6 a.m. girly, I'm very proud of myself. But this is what I'm saying. These are non-negotiables, and this is how you have to plan your life. So now my next version is gonna start at 5:30. We gotta up the time on this. Some of our girlies are up at 4. Okay, so we have to hit the whole day, and sometimes you need the full day. And I don't do that every day. Probably do it 3 times out the week. The rest of the days I'm fucking sleep. So this is how you balance. This is how you do things. You have to look at your life as a whole Write down what you have going on. Write down what your priorities are, and you'll be able to achieve them. So, what did we learn today, Bosties? We learned to be resilient as fuck. We're gonna be as resilient as Trump. That's all I keep saying. No matter what, we're gonna go after our goals, even if we're in court to do the opposite. We're gonna still go for it. That shit gets so funny to me. Like, he's literally trying to go to jail for something, but in the process of people trying to send you in jail, you're like, fuck it, I'm the front runner for the Republican Party. So I'm the front runner for podcasters, okay? That's how I feel. That's really how I feel. I am the front runner, and we are out here every day. So what we have to do is be strategic, frame our minds from failure to lessons. We need to strategize in our tough times so that our tough times don't stay forever. If we have a plan to get out of it, we know it's temporary. If we don't have a plan to get out of it, that's forever. That's your life now. And if that didn't scare the shit out of you, I don't know what else will. If you really look at your worst time and say that this is it, and I'll wait for you to get a fucking planner and find out how you can get out of it. And then the last thing is we are training through our fatigue. It's tiring. I'm tired. I be up all fucking day, for real. Up all day. However, I know I'm training. I know that this is my process. If I want to do daytime TV, do you know what time they are at the studio? 4 a.m. So I'm actually slipping. Like, I actually really need to be up every day at 2, like ready to fucking go. But I know that I'm training for something that I really, really want to do. So because of that, all of my failures are lessons. All of my tough times are periodic. All of the things that I want to do, I'm training for it. And because of that, I'm able to be resilient. Because of that, I'm not going to quit. Because of that, I'm never going to stop to be dropped the ish. Okay? So thank you for watching, Bosties. Next week, we're starting Black History Month in a black ass studio with a black ass host. It's gonna be blackity black, 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 black in here for a long time. You get 5 whole weeks, and I'm so excited. We have some wonderful black owned businesses that are gonna come through. We have some black movies that you need to be looking out for. We have a lot of things going on that we're gonna cover in February, and I can't wait for you guys to see them. So keep watching each and every Thursday at Live Hip Hop Daily at 7 with the Crew Creative Visions, and we'll see you next week.